welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Louise. We are going to make English scones. I'm going to make clotted cream as well because it's really hard to get hold of. I've done scones before, long time ago. Never done clotted cream, so I don't know how this is going to come out. So I'm just going to go with the recipe and keep our fingers crossed. Most of this I actually won't be showing you because it's quite a long job. 20 minutes. I mean, 20 minutes of me stirring something's going to be boring. So I'll explain it and we'll get going and then we'll come back to a bit later on. If that makes any sense. So I've got 300 millilitres of double cream and I've weighed out 12 grams of butter. This is unsalted butter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a pan and this in the pan and we're going to mix it with a wooden spoon. It specifically says a wooden spoon. And we're going to get it simmering, but we're not going to let it boil. And then we just got to keep mixing it until it's about half the size of the mixture. So hence the reason I'm not going to show most of that, because it says it's going to take about 20 minutes. So I'm literally going to be standing here stirring for 20 minutes because you don't want it to catch on the bottom or, you know, solidify, thicken on the bottom or anything. You want to keep it a nice consistency. Like I said, never done this before, so the only other ways I've seen of making it is like putting it in the oven and things for like 12 hours or whatever. There's no way I'm doing that. Okay, I put it on high. I'm going to turn it down in a minute once we start getting some heat going. Oh, it's nice and thick already actually. Can you see that all gooping on the top? Sorry if the camera keeps moving because of the dogs. They keep leaning into it. Wherever I am, the dogs want to be there as close as possible. I'm actually going to turn this down. And the butter. Right, that's it. This is literally what I'm going to do for 20 minutes. And this should about half the size of it. So I'm going to turn the camera off now. Keep doing this because I can listen to some music or something. I can't do that with YouTube. I'm actually going to turn it down even more because it's a bit high. And I will see you in a bit. Right, so I've actually been mixing it for 13 minutes, but if you can see, it's already starting to thicken and stuff. So what we're supposed to do now is we're going to put it in a pan. It says you want a pan that's got like a large surface area. So this one should be good. When it started reducing, it started reducing really quick. And it's clearly thickened up and it's changed the colour. So there you go. All the clotted cream, it will be clotted cream, I don't know if you call it that yet, is in here. Largest surface area you can have. This is just the largest one I could get my hands on. So now we're going to leave it to completely cool down. And then I'm going to put some cling film over it just to protect it. And it's going to go in the fridge for at least 12 hours. We will see what it comes out like tomorrow. Hello, so it's the following day. Right, the cream's set in the it's been in the fridge overnight. Here it is, finished product. Haven't even opened it up myself yet, so I'm going to move your angle. I'm going to take some out now. We've not started the scones yet, clearly. I've got all the ingredients ready, weighed it all out because you know how messy I get, and it's just the dogs and the camera and that, it's hard work. So it advises that you have the clotted cream at room temperature because it's going to be better that way. So I'm going to actually take some out now and put it in the bowl. I'll let you see what it comes out like because I hope this is going to be good. And then we're going to make the scones. So I've just got a little bowl because I'm actually going to have the scones for dinner tonight because I don't really know what I want. So I thought scones would be good. Very English with a cup of tea. So it's set, definitely set. I don't know, I don't even know what texture clotted cream's supposed to be. Okay, so this is quite a... Oh, look, it's thick, can you tell? I think you can, it's really thick. Is it supposed to be that thick? It's like fudge thick. Is it supposed to be that thick? I've never had clotted cream. I hope this is the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I'm going to eat it. Okay. Thicker than I was expecting. Oh, I'm hoping that's good. Does that mean it's good? I mean, as it makes, you know, fridge cold still, it's gonna, I'm assuming it's gonna melt or something. Or it's gonna go room temperature. That'll be about 1 scone, wouldn't it, I think. Okay, so we'll go with that. So I'm going to leave that on the side now, and that's going to go to room temperature, and we're going to make the scones. As I said, I've weighed everything out. I haven't weighed everything. This is all measurements, which is really good because weighing's just more of a palaver. So in here we've got 2 cups of plain flour. I hope I can remember this without having to get the recipe out again. I've got my phone over the recipe in it. 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and ½ a teaspoon of salt. That all goes in. This is like actually a really easy recipe. Okay, we have 3 tablespoons of butter. That's going to go in. And then this is one of them recipes where you've got to get your hands in there and breadcrumb it. So I've done this before. It does take a while. That doesn't look like much butter, does it? But we're going with it. So basically, I have washed my hands. Basically, let's just coat the butter a little bit first. Breaking the butter up isn't going to be a bad thing either because it just helps the situation. And all we're going to do is we're going to pick flour and butter up and then just like squidge it together to break it up. And we're just going to keep doing that, picking it up and dropping it. We're not going to play with it too much. We're just going to try and get so all the flour and the butter will mix together and it'll end up being like breadcrumbs. Now I have done this before a few times. It does take a little while, but it's fairly simple. It's literally like that. It's a time-consuming thing. I know people said I should get a mixer. I have started looking into prices of mixers, but I want to get one of them where I have got a mixer, should I say. I have got like a handheld one, but I actually want to get one that is it freestanding one, I think, that you leave on the side. It's got the bowl attached and it has different attachments, because then it'll have the attachments that I can use for like making doughs and things, because with the handheld mixer you only have those 2, well I only have 2 attachments, one attachment for it, and that's more for like mixing liquids and things like that really. See, I can't really feel much butter going on in here. It's not very breadcrumby, it's more floury. Like I've always said, you know, always go with the recipe. I think I've made these before. Have I made no? I made the American biscuits, that's what it was. Always go with the recipe pretty close to what the recipe is first time round, because then if something goes wrong with it, you know, the taste of it or the texture, you know sort of what to change. This was actually really, really easy. The butter's pretty much gone now. I don't know if that's breadcrumby. Yeah, I guess it is. So that's not bad. So I'm going to go and wash my hands and get the milk, and we will do the next stage. Next step is we've got 2/3 of a cup of milk. Now we're supposed to just add a little bit, and then we're going to mix it, and we're going to add a little bit and mix it until we're aiming for a sticky consistency. And it does say that if you use all the milk and you haven't quite got a sticky consistency, to add a bit more milk, because apparently different flours absorb milk differently. Because I was reading the comments when people who have made it, because clearly that's how you know if you'll get a good recipe or not. And a lot of people were saying that it was too dry, and when the person who created the recipe was asking what was the consistency like at this point, they were saying it was dry. So they weren't paying attention to the recipe, because it clearly says keep going, like use this amount, this is the amount that it should use. But if you've got a quite dry flour that's absorbing it differently, then add a bit more milk. So we're aiming for sticky. A lot of people were saying, I guess it was like this, they were saying it was dry. Every time, isn't it? Every time I cook, the ice cream man comes round. How weird is that? Pretty much could go back to nearly all of my recipes, all my cooking videos, I think, and you'll hear an ice cream man there somewhere, and he doesn't come round like a number of times a day. all the same time of day. It's weird. Yeah, see, it's not really, it's not wet. I'm going to mix it a little bit more because I've not quite mixed it all in. I think I'm going to have to add a little bit more. Yeah, it's not mixing anymore, so we're going to add some more milk. So I'm going to just do it straight from the jug. And we're just going to glug a bit in and keep going. I mean, this is exactly what she said could happen, so I'm not worried about it. That little glug's already made a big difference. There's a little bit of flour that keeps sitting on the bottom of it. Every time I flip it, there's sticky bit over it. Flour's just moving. Oh no, I think we might have got it. Okay, I think this is it. We're proper sticky, which is good. I don't know. Do we want it a little bit more than that? I'm going to go with the tiniest more because it's still got a little bit of a dryness in it, but tiny bit. Oh, that was probably too much. Oh, we're going to go the opposite way now, aren't we? Right, a lot happier with that. So you can hear it and see it. That's a sticky. I don't know if it was on camera most of the time. I hope it was. Yep, sticky consistency. So let me just get rid of this. This is a really good recipe actually, because there's no there's no rolling pins and stuff like that. So we're just going to put flour on the side. Spread it out. So I did go a bit nuts with that there. We're going to pour this straight on top. Hope it comes out. Please come out because I've just put the spoon in the sink. Gravity is doing its thing. There you go. And then we're going to, because I've gone nuts with the flour, put loads of it over the top. And it says to knead it 3 times because clearly we're only kneading it to get the sticky, not so sticky type thing. So, I mean, I'm just making sure it's covered because this is going to be messy anyway. Right, so 1, 2, 3. That's what it says to do, just 3 times. Then we're going to just round it off a little bit. And by hand, we're just going to push it down and make it about 1 inch thick. That's about 1 inch, isn't it? So we're going to make it about 1 inch thick just by pressing it. We're not doing anything else. I think the idea is not to mess with it too much. I'm not good with my measurements. This is 2 inches, by the way. Well, this is a 2.5 inch cutter. We're supposed to use a 2 inch, but this is actually the smallest one in my set. I have a decent set. It's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them in there, of these metal ones, which are pretty decent. But I don't have a 2 inch. So, yeah, we're good. What we're going to do is just going to press our round on it. Now, tips for this, and this is me being an amateur, just learning things that I know. 1, we are not going to go in and twist it because that affects the rise. And we're not going to put our hand all the way over it as well because there's a suction thing goes on, again, that can affect the rise. So we're literally going to push it down. I know I'm doing it upside down because I don't want the crinkly bit. Don't ask me why, just don't. And we're going to try to get as many as we can out of this right now. I'm not worried, if it stays there it's fine because we'll just peel everything up around it. But I'm not going to play with them too much. And if you can hear that humming in the background, it's because I have the oven on, gas mark, about 6.5. It says 425 on the oven, on the, what's that, electric, isn't it? 425. I have a gas, so I think it's about 6.5. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my cutter because where it's so sticky it's starting to clump up inside. So it says the recipe does about 10. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it probably would be about right. If we got 10 out of it, they are supposed to be 71 calories. All the other, you know, fat content and stuff, I don't know, so just in case you need to know that sort of thing. I'm assuming these will come out better because clearly I'm like having to mess about with the pastry again after. But I'm sure they're still all going to be very edible. We'll just do one large one for the last. There's no point in messing about with that, is there? Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 10. Clearly that would be more than 71 calories. And I've just got a sheet with grease-proof paper. I'm going to go and wash my hands again. I'm going to put them on there. On a pan, I've only put 6 on there because it's not that big. Putting it in the middle of the oven. I have moved the grill bit this time. When I made the cakes the other day, I hadn't moved it so they were too high. But I want to try and get the temperatures and everything right this time rather than have it too high so it is cooking too fast on the outside and not so quick in the middle. So I'm going to go and do it in 2 batches and I will come back to you when it's done. So in the oven for 12 minutes and then we're going to let it rest. Now it does say let it rest for half an hour as is, or if you want soft scones, which I won't go for, it says just to put a clean tea towel over the top for half an hour and you will have softer ones. Both batches are done. Okay, so I made another boo-boo. You know what I'm like. I got so worked up because, like I said, I had a moment with my camera and it was that the battery had died, but I thought I hadn't pressed record, so then I had to do this whole bit and I got confused and forgot what I was supposed to do. So you're supposed to take an egg yolk and some milk, mix it and then put that over the top before you put them in the oven. So we didn't do that, but they're fine. They're absolutely fine, absolutely bloody perfect actually. So I've already made one up, but I just thought I would try. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the textures and stuff from it. So it's got a little bit of, you hear that? I've got the window open so I don't know if you can hear it. So it's a bit crunchy on the top. It's actually soft on the bottom. It's got a little bit of bounce. And then, oh, try and keep it focused, stay focused, stay focused. Let me get my head out of the way, then it'll focus in. Okay. Ooh. This is actually like soft. Very nice, very nice. I just tried some of the cream and it's cream. I don't know what to say about it. Like I said, never tried it before. Let me move this camera because my head's a little bit high. Okay, so yes, I am a jam on the bottom person. It just feels like it should be that way. So jam, clotted cream and the scone. Now I say it's perfect, I haven't actually tried it. So I'm going to try it now because what would be the point? If I tried and it was disgusting, I wouldn't tell you. No, I would. Oh God, it's quite big. Very nice. Not too dry at all. But, I mean, it's got loaded jam and cream in it. It's really nice. Perfect. Not too salty, not too sweet. Really good. I'm impressed. I'm always impressed with my own cooking. I don't know why. I should have a little bit more, what's the word? Faith in my abilities. I should have more faith in my abilities. So I now have got 9 left. I'm going to have another one for my dinner because that's going to be my dinner. I'm going to have a cup of tea. And then I'll message Blossom and let her know they're done so she can come pick some up as well. Because Corey said he doesn't want any anyway. So, I mean, I could freeze some, but the odds of me taking it, I don't know, I might freeze some actually. That might be nice on the weekend with like a sausage, because it doesn't have to be just sweet. I've got sausage patties and egg, oh, I might keep some, you know. That would be a good breakfast for the weekend, wouldn't it? And that was so simple to make, as you saw, really simple. That's down. He's whining because they've just been fed. He's such a pig at the moment, like, totally, it's so bad. He's laying staring at me, but I'm not going to let him have any because he's put some weight on, so he's not allowed any. This is going to make me feel guilty the rest of the day. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you want to give me a subscribe, a like, give me a comment down below, please do so. It's very welcome. yeah, I enjoyed making this today. I'm thinking I'll maybe try and do a video a week of cooking, but I'm not sure exactly what to do next. I might do some actual meals as well as baking. I'm not always going to do baking, I'm going to do some meals as well. So that will be in the future. I haven't got any plans of anything specific, but I've got a couple of ideas floating around up here. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you Saturday for the haul. Bye.